Hey everyone, Macca here with the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 campaign. In this video, I'll be showing you all 11 of the mission-specific intel collectibles. There are 11 missions and 11 pieces of intel, one per mission. Starting off with the first mission in the game called Exposure, and the name of this intel is Becoming the Monster. You'll reach a part of the mission where you come outside and you'll have to learn the kinetic jump ability to get up onto this hill. As you climb the hill and get to the top, a giant machete will come from the sky, taking out all of the enemies at the top, and here you can find a well. On the outside of the well, pick up the intel. The second mission of the game is called Inside, and the intel is called The Truth. You'll have to meet up with Karma as a main objective, and that'll happen at the bottom of this zip line. Just make sure you're careful on the way down so as to not incapacitate yourself. And you'll be able to find a body bag just off to the right of Karma. Make sure you grab this intel before talking to them to continue the mission. On the next level, Distortion, you'll ride a boat, and as the water rises, you'll get to the top of this kind of pit, opening a door, and then coming outside, rescuing Woods as your primary objective inside of the container, but do not do that until later. There's a collectible we'll want to grab before we interact with this container. Instead, go to the back of it, and here you can either use your grappling hook or just a well-placed jump, and you want to end up kind of underneath yourself on the edge here. I'm going to just, for simplicity's sake, use my grappling hook to get to the island across, and then grapple into the room inside of the cliff to pick up the knife in the wall for the collectible. As we play through the mission Escalation, we'll have an objective for accessing the main terminal. We'll come into this complex. There will be a bunch of enemies, and you want to grab this before you access the terminal, as that triggers a lot of enemies to spawn. Enter into the room from this side, and there's a small side room to the right where if you enter you can find a tiny USB key, which is our collectible. On the mission Disruption, you'll drop down through the glass panels in the roof to end up in this room where you're subsequently attacked by a bunch of enemies. Make your way to the west side of the room instead of exiting via the objective, which is to access the restricted area. Here you'll be able to find a short staircase which leads to a side room, and in the corner you can find some intel. The next mission is called Collapse. You'll enter the Coliseum, go underground, and then you'll be asked to secure the SAM launcher site and capture it and defend it. If you exit the Coliseum and go directly towards the SAM site, you should notice some rubble buildings on your left of the path. Go up here and grab the head for the collectible. Fairly early on in the mission Fracture, you'll come to this kind of twisted highway where you'll have to jump across a bunch of vehicles to get towards the objective for navigating the canyon. If you stay near the middle, you'll enter this red truck, and then you'll be able to jump into the cargo bay of the truck, turn around, and you'll find a small flag in the back corner, making sure to pick it up before you move on. Near the beginning of the level Quarantine, you'll come to a very tall tower as your main objective. You'll ascend up a zip line and get spit out of this elevator shaft. As you climb out, the objective will point you towards a bookcase where you have to interact with a secret book to reveal a secret path behind the books. Instead of doing that, just head up the stairs near the elevator shaft and go into the room directly above them. On the table in the middle of the room, you'll find like a test vial, and this collectible is called Case. A decent chunk of the way through the mission Suppression, you'll come outside past the kind of red fog, and you'll enter this cabin where you'll find your first purple workstation. You'll spend quite a bit of time defending this cabin, but upstairs in one of the side rooms you can find a fishing rod. On the mission Breakpoint, you'll be following your mission objective markers until you make your way to the stadium, and then you'll be told to disable the cradle shipments, and as you approach them, your mission marker will split up into 6 different places. do not do this mission marker, as doing so will automatically trigger the next section of the mission. Instead, drop down into the road and notice this container. Go inside, find 2 small crates, and between them you can find your collectible. The final mission of the game is called Containment, and at the very end of the mission is the final boss battle against these 3 mechs. Once you gain control of your character, you should notice the control room kind of in front of you and off into the distance. Watch out for the giant mechs, which will attack you, but run towards this area and then you'll be able to jump on a couple of floating containers. Find the container that is diagonally pointed towards another one, and if you come to the top of this, you should be able to jump into the back of an open container to find your 11th and final mission-specific intel collectible. There are 20 more pieces of intel for you to grab in the end game, but that is a completely different mode and will therefore have a completely different video. Thank you for watching. Drop a like on the video, share with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.